Hello everyone, my name is RISHABH and register number is UR15CS86. Now I'm going to explain the roadmap for the Java project that is for tour planning. As is there in first activity, text view options there. Clicking on this, in the second activity, 3 more text views comes, and clicking on either of these, in the third activity, more text views comes. As you can see in the first activity, 2 edit texts are there, and in the second activity, one relative layout is present, and within this relative layout, 3 more relative layouts 1, 2 and 3 are present, and in every layout a text view is there. Clicking on either of the 3 text views for the third activity are shown here, as you can see, for this tour planning.
My name is TRIPURARI, and in this Java project my role is to create the user interface. So I will be talking about the user interface. So we'll talk about the first activity. In the first activity, as we can see that a background image is there and 2 editable text is there and 1 text view is there. So how I did this, we have to go to the XML file, and here we can see that the layout we are using is the relative layout, and the image I have given in the background. Here I used as Android background, and I given the path of that image, and that image I kept as a resource in drawable. So all the images which I am going to use I kept in the drawable. This is a resource, so for the resource I am giving the path, and for the text view, which is destination, it is showing in the first activity. Here I am having the codes, so here it is giving the size, and it is a bold text, so it is bold is there, and then it is a wrap content, means it will cover up all the area. And then coming to the edit text, so edit text, what will be the size is there is given here in the code. For the 2 text edit text is there, so 2 edit text is here. Coming to the second activity, in the second activity we are having 1 layout. In that layout I am having 3 different layouts. So coming to the coding part, so we can see that firstly I am having a relative layout. So in that relative layout I am having 3 more relative layouts. So first, to the main relative layout I am giving the background color as black. Then the 3 relative layout which I have created, in each relative layout I am giving different images. So I am giving the path from the drawable, and that is pointing to the particular image, and that has been shown there. Likewise, the third one we are having third activity. So in the third activity I am having 5 text views, that at the last it will be showing in our app, that after confirmation of everything it will be showing 5 text views. So this is also a relative layout, and in this 5 text views are there. So thank you.
This is Tanmay. My register number is UR15CS188. So this is the project of tour planning system which I, RISHABH and TRIPURARI have done. So here, as you can see, that I have contributed towards the back end part. The roadmap was constructed by RISHABH, the UI was being done by TRIPURARI, and like my contribution is that I have done the back end part. So here as you can see, in the first activity, main activity, for this destination we are having a destination. First we are taking the data from the user, that is the name of the user and the number of tickets he wants to book, and then using this, on click of this destination, I am parsing the data to activity 2, that is here, and on click of this I am parsing that data into activity 3, and then it would be displayed here. So for that, first, like I have typecasted the objects of edit text as here. Whatever we will get, that would be in the form of edit text. Like enter your name. So whatever name user will enter, and the number of bookings, that is the count he will enter. So that would be saved in an edit text. So after that, so I have typecasted that thing into this object text1 and text2, and here I have created one more object of text view. I have typecasted the ID of text view, so that I am typecasting this ID so that whenever we'll click this, so to open another activity we can use that object. So now as you can see that this I have using this object I have called like set on click listener method. So inside this I am like so here, so whatever inside this object there are two strings, so that strings I am getting using two like get text method, and that get text method will convert that data into string using this to string. So the name of the user will be here and number will be here, and then using intent I am passing that data from this object, from this activity to another activity. So as we know that for every activity there is its intent. So here I have created the object of intent followed by new intent. Then here this is the syntax of intent, the name of the activity in which I am there. So name of that Java file, that is name of the class, that is main activity dot this, and then followed by comma, and then we have to like write the that class name which should be invoked. So main activity 2 class will be invoked, and then activity main 2 will be opened on click of this destination which is having ID tv1. So yeah, and using object dot put extra. So using this method I am putting this I am giving name to this data. So the name of this data is data1, and this is name of this data is data2. Using put extra method I am putting the data within the object of intent, and then I am starting the activity. So now as I have passed the data through intent, so in another activity I should again like I should create the object of intent and I should get the intent. So here as you can see, this is the second activity. So here first I am creating the object of intent to which I have given the reference as get intent, and then like so when so the method which we were using to put data into intent was put extra. Now here the method which we are using to get that the data which we have putted, to get that data we have to use the method get string extra, and inside the parenthesis we have to pass the name of the data. So here these are few more strings. So again as you can see in our XML we are having 3 text views, that is Goa, Uti and Kochi. So these 3 text views should be typecasted into the object of text view. So that is what I have done here. I have typecasted it by their ID. So because as every text view is having its ID, so I have typecasted those text views into their objects. So now this objects we can use for like to again open the third activity. Yeah, again to open the third activity we can use that object. So that object dot set on click listener, so it like on click whatever it like whenever we'll click. So as you can see here, whenever we will click this text, then at that time this method would be invoked. So this method would be invoked. So again it would create the object of intent, and it would put the data place it would put the data G, that this data, that is Goa, and the name of the user and the number. So as you can see friends, here I am using data parsing, like from one activity I am passing data to another activity, and then from another activity, from that second activity again I am passing the data to third activity. So as you can see here, I am putting the data again using intent, again same as we have done earlier, the name and the number, like the count of that is the number of bookings and the place name, that is what I am parsing. And same I have done for other objects as well, that is for Ooty and Kochi. So now activity 3 will be invoked. So again whatever data we are passing it, activity 2 should be like received by activity 3. So as we are passing that data through intent, so again we have to receive it through intent. So here again we are creating an object of intent and a reference variable called I, which is of type intent and whose reference is get intent, that is it would get the intent. So now as you can see in the name, again I am using get string extra method, I am getting the name of the user and the number of tickets he has booked. And here as you can see, here I have used this logic that if I dot get string extra of place 1 is not equals to null. So if I won't use this logic, then my project would throw a null point exception, that is whenever I'll click this Goa, so the other two text views would return null. So due to this exception my project would, like this app would crash. So that's the reason I have used this logic. So and here to receive, like if whatever the data it has received, if that data is equals to the text ID, like this text view, on this text view ID we are having the string as Goa. So if we are clicking this and our click is equal to that Goa, that text view, then it would parse the data from this, from the intent of this text view, from the intent object of that text view. So as here, and then for everything I have, for every place, like I have set it some cost, like for Goa it's 4000, for Ooty it's 2500, and for Cochin it's 1500. And then total cost I am calculating on the basis of this formula, like I am multiplying the number of bookings with the cost. And then again as you can see here, to display that text within those 5 text views, here in the third activity we are having 5 text views. To display this within the third text view, I am just like firstly I am like what I am typecasting the ID TV4, like everything I am like I am putting in the object of text view this ID. So now this object dot set text, so if using set text method, like we can choose whatever we want to display in that text view. So these are the things, like first it would this is for displaying the place, like which place user has selected, then the per person cost, and then followed by the name of the user, and then the total number of bookings done by the user, and then the total cost. So yeah, that's all. So now let's run this in the emulator and check it out. So already I have opened, like I have run this in my emulator. So this is my Java project. So yeah, so as you can see here, first within this edit text, it is giving us giving the hint to the user, that is enter your name and number of bookings. So here the user will enter his name. For example, let's say I'll put my name, and in number of bookings, let's say 3 bookings. Now when we would click this destination, then this data would be parsed here to this activity. and now when we would click, so as you can see here, these are just layouts. So on clicking layouts, nothing will happen. We have to click the text. So for example, let's say if we click Goa, then it would display the place, then the cost per person, name of the person, total number of bookings done by him, and then the total cost. And same it would be for Ooty, 2500 per person. So the name of the user, number of bookings done by him, and then the total cost. And same it would be for Kochi also. So that's all, friends. Thank you.